Hi, welcome. Now in this video I want to show you how to use the trim function in the VLOOKUP. Now I've got two examples for you here. So the first thing that we want to look at is our table here. This is our table that we have, and it has got our product and it has got the price over here. Now we want to look up down here, we want to look up the product in this table and return our price there. Now to do this, we're going to use our VLOOKUP. So let's just draw closer. We'll say equals VLOOKUP. Now our lookup value is our product there, comma, or rather comma, then our array is just above here. This is our table array. Control backspace to return to the formula. Then the next thing that we want is our column index. We see that our column index, we are returning the third, which is 1 2 3, so it's on our third column, comma. Then the type of match is false, which is exact match, and we close and press enter. Now look at this, we are receiving an NA here. Let's drag this formula down. We're still receiving an NA. So whenever you do this and you have some errors, one of the first things that you're supposed to check on is your lookup value. So if you check on your lookup value, if you see this Melinda, it has got an extra spacing, okay? And if you come and check on our Melinda on top here, there is no extra spacing. So such an extra spacing can cause Excel not to be able to find the product. So if I press enter here, if I remove the space and press enter, it returns to me the actual price. So how do you solve this one? Control Z. So to solve this, when you're dealing with a lot of values, the first thing that you have to do is to be able to introduce the trim to the products that you're dealing with. So you can come over and introduce the trim to the product that you're looking up. You say trim, then just close the trim in your data, then press enter. Okay, so if you check our product now, if you check our product, if I come here to the trim, if I click only on the A15 here and press F9, what is coming is that it's Mirinda with a space. Control Z. But if I highlight the trim, I press I press F9, you see that the Mirinda does not have an extra space. Control Z. So if I press enter, then drag this down, you'll see that okay, it is working out. But there's something that you must be able to do every time when you're running a formula down. Come and check on the last value. So when you check on the last value here, you see sunlight. Now if you look at sunlight, the table array is shifting. So this just got it by accident, that okay, it happens so. But usually when you're dealing with large data sets, you always have an error because you have not locked your data. So press enter. Let's go to the first value. You see that now the data is being picked up nicely, but if we move this down, it will shift. So we lock it by pressing F4. We lock our table array. All right, press enter, then run down the formula. Okay, all right, nothing has changed, but you would appreciate this when you're dealing with larger data sets. All right, below here now we're dealing with another different problem, which is the table is the one which is having the spacing, but here we are okay, we don't have the spacing on the data. So no spacing. So what we want to do is that we want to solve this problem based on the table. All right, now what will happen here is that for this to happen is that we have to use an array formula. Okay, let's say equals, then VLOOKUP. Now the value we're looking up is that Melinda, comma, the table array is this, comma, the column index is number 3, comma, the type of match is supposed to be exact, which means false. So it says not available. The reason why it's not available is that when you come to your data here, I highlight my table array, then I press F9. You see that sprite has got a spacing. If you check out, red blue doesn't have a spacing, sunlight, nothing. So Control Z, press enter. So what I'll do is that I'll drag this down. So you'll see that for those that do not have spacing in them, you will see that the value is being retained. But for those with spacing, the value is not being retained. But to solve this for all, the first thing that you have to do is we're going to trim our table. So say trim. Now usually trim, you use it not on a table but on an individual cell. But when you use it on a table like this, now you have introduced an array. Okay, now when you've done that, if I just press enter, I have a value error. Now the reason why I'm having a value error is because this is an array. Now how you enter an array is by Control Shift Enter. That's how it's recognized. So if I drag this down, you'll see now it's able to return. But you still have a problem. If you see that your data is aligning to the left of a cell, know that it is text. So if it is text, which means it can give you errors when you're dealing with this data, using this data to create other analysis in your data. So what you do is you just tricky Excel to say what I'm dealing with here is number. So you press +0. So if you press enter, you forgot to Control Shift Enter, it will recognize that now you're dealing with numbers. Then run down the formula and it will work out. Alright, so try this out. Let us know where you've got any challenge and we'll great to be able to assist.